it's guns, knives, and watches, man. We were talking about that there BK-15 type knife, man, with them there micarta scales on it, man. Them linen micarta, man. And I was talking to you about that there field use of this knife. When you are outside of that there said motor pool nor your barracks, man. And this has Allen screws on it. And there are some options for doing that. One, you can carry an individual use tool, which would be just a single Allen wrench that will fit those. And that's fine. That's probably the most cost-effective way of doing it. There are other options when you have other pieces of kit that also require specific or individual fastening types of devices that you can integrate. Now, what I've done in the past is I have done a simple explanation of my Leatherman setup. Now, this Leatherman setup, of course, is in a MOLLE compatible sheath. It has high sides on it so you don't lose things out of it. It doesn't have those individual pockets or any of that other gay stuff, and it doesn't have a lot of elastic on it, because elastic over time, especially in high heat environments, will break down, and it will break down very quickly. Because all springs, when used, break down. Unfortunately, elastic is no different. In fact, it is probably the most delicate of all types of fabric, especially in a high heat environment. Of course, this is a Leatherman, an older TTI with a clip on it. Do you have to have the Leatherman TTI to get the option that I'm talking to you about? No. They have a lot of different Leathermans. Was the titanium in this to make it lighter? No. It was just to make something that's a little bit stronger, a little more less prone to a lot of different things, corrosion, this, there, the other, da 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 da. Plus, it was a selling feature. Most importantly to me, though, the titanium gave me more rounded edges, and that was actually why I preferred that particular tool. Now, since I have bought this one, and I have had this one for many, many years, and just, don't use it a whole lot because of its weight. Because it's not a light tool. It's especially not a light tool the way I'm going to set it up and the way I'm going to show you that I have my setup. Now, my kit is oriented basically, or organized in three basic kits. There is a primary kit that I carry, which is my green backpack. There is a backup kit inside of that, which I've also shown. And then there is a heavy, more tool-oriented kit that I do not carry with me, but stays near me. But I don't have to carry it, don't have to do this, there, or the other. It's more vehicle-based. And this is one of the pieces of kit that stays in that vehicle-based kit. Now, of course, everyone knows my primary multi-tool that I actually carry is a Victorinox Spirit, and it is the Spirit with a penknife blade and then scissors on the other end. What model this is, I have no earthly idea. If you have the ambition to try to purchase it or understand something about it, then you can look up the model numbers yourself. They have a lot of different ones. But let's get back to the Leatherman itself. And as I've explained this in the past, I have an extender because this tool has one feature on it that the Victorinox does not. And it is that one simple piece. Of course, it has single blade deployment. It has all that other type of stuff. Am I trying to sell you on a Leatherman? No, not really. The reason this thing has lasted it's probably lasted 3 or 4 of these because I just sometimes break them or lose them out in the field. Is because I just don't carry it. As I said, this is something that basically stays in the vehicle and is part of a whole different set of kit. But it has the bit adapter, and of course these are the flat bits that everyone's familiar with, and it has an extender in that kit just in case I have to work around doorknobs or anything where the thickness of the tool basically becomes a problem. Now, this is not a small diameter, of course, but it does work, and it will take these flat bits as well as your traditional hexagonal bits. Now, like I said, this kit is not cheap. In fact, this is extremely, I would say, pretty expensive. In this kit, I have all of the different types of tools that I need for my specific what happens in my environment, and have them in 2 racks. Of course, it comes with one, and then you have to purchase the other one, and then I have customized mine. But it's just the way it is, and of course I've got an Allen wrench for that, just in case I happen to have it on me. I tend to deal a lot with security bits and things like that. The one thing that I do like about the clip in this specific application is it just gives me retention of the tool, where I can, you know, because I don't have any other type of retention, it at least gives me the retention of the tool. And everything fits in there pretty well. And as I said previously, the sides are really high and the top is wider than the side, so you don't have much chance of things falling out. Can it happen? Yes, of course it could. But the way this piece of kit is loaded and the way it's actually used is I've never lost it, okay? One other thing that may be of significance to people who have watched multiples of my videos is when I went back to that titanium cup from Clean Canteen, I also put in the kit, which I did not cover, and of course I just dropped one, the stainless steel fish mouth spreader. Now, you can purchase this on Amazon for a few dollars, or you can purchase it in other locations. And of course, this acts as a handle for the pot, and it can work on anything. But it's just something, is it something that I would use often? No, it's not. But it gives me the ability to easily put the Clean Canteen in a fire, hang it above a fire, or, you know, whatever else. So those are a couple things that in reality I just have either failed to cover, or maybe people haven't watched it and might be interested in that little tidbit of information. Believe it or not, in my kit I don't even carry a multi-tool anymore. I just basically just carry the Victorinox Farmer. Why is that? Because it has just a simple blade. Of course, we've got our awl, which is a very effective striker for a ferrocerium rod. And then we have our saw, which is not the biggest saw in the world, but it still works. I use my saws all the time. Of course, one of the best can openers in the industry. And of course, our bottle opener. It's a very thin setup, which is kind of its thing. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. I'll show you another, you know, these rat knives from Essie also have Allen screws on them. Is it, you know, is it unique? No. And of course you've got your standard Phillips there, which is awesome. I wish people would integrate more of just standard bitting, things you can honestly easily find out in the field without some specialty tool or specialty this, there, or the other. That's the one thing that I really like about the Buck Matt Will Go knife, and that's also something I've always really enjoyed about the knives from Emerson. Anyway, it's just some updates, little additional information this, there, or the other, and you may want to separate your kit into 3 different ways of organizing, because I don't really need this. This thing weighs almost a pound. It's probably around I would say right there, you're pushing 13-14 ounces right there. But you still need to be very cognizant of the types of tools that you need to work on your kit when you're out in the environment, and more importantly, are in an unfamiliar environment, or God forbid you're in a disaster. Get in the middle of a hurricane and see how things really work out for you, or get in the middle of a lot of different other things. I have a lot of information on hurricanes, because that's typically the type of traumatic environments in which I am involved in. But, you know, have to study all types of things. So, have a good one.